JB here. Hope everyone's doing outstanding. August 8th, 2024. We have about 36 minutes to the open. Talk really quick about the market, some of the names I'm looking at, and go from there. But here we are, S&P futures, where the markets look to be opening to the plus side. We had the weekly jobless claim numbers come in lower than expected. So it's funny how the market works. Everybody's all concerned about the jobs report from Friday, and all it takes one little weekly jobless claim report and futures. The SPY went from 518.50 or so to 523 or so. Still not at yesterday's levels, so still have some ways to go there, but certainly a good sign. There's not much in the way of data this week, so uh, the jobless claims get a little more attention. Uh, and there's earnings, but not too many important names. I wouldn't say important. There's a lot of names reporting, but not what we had last week. So hopefully market finds some footing here and we can start melting towards like that 525 530 handle there on the SPY. I was talking about it on the watch list yesterday. uh, I think it was 521 and no, 524 I think it was, and then this morning 517.50. Those are the key spots for me right now. Pretty much been sitting on my hands the last day and a half. I mean, I added some calls yesterday, uh, but I was actually possibly looking for some hedge puts. Today might be the day if we get a reversal. Um, but for now, I think, there's, it's funny, you go to read some of the publications. Market Watch is one of the places I always look because they seem to be the ones that post the most, uh, post the pieces that would get the most clicks, right? So if the market sells off, they post bearish pieces the next day. If the market rallies, they post bullish pieces the next day. Just how it works. So this morning they said, oh, there needs to be four things to happen for the market to rally, to before it bounces. And then another one says, after the VIX spikes, the S&P tends to rebound, retest, and rally, meaning we're going to test new lows. And then the sample size of this data is only four times. And so anyway, not here nor there. Just interesting that everybody has all these opinions that at some point they won't matter because the market will either rally or what have you, or they'll be disproven wrong. But anyway, needless to say, hopefully we find some support here. We chop around into the end of the week. There's not much in the way of catalyst, so if there's an opportunity for folks to really take advantage of what's been going on, this would be it, right? And then maybe you'll start hearing more chatter around this yen carry trade or what have you. But yields just hit multi-week highs on the data. So, I was talking about yesterday morning around the fact that the implied amount of rate cuts for this year went up to five by the end of the year. I think it was a 40% probability. That wouldn't be surprised to see that get knocked back, so on and so forth. So watching that, also, I mean, if you take a look at the end of the day move, I mean, the markets reversed the gains, chopped around into the afternoon, and then just melted to lows. Just not a fun session. Hopefully, we don't get a duplicate here today, and we can just work on recouping the losses for the week. So individual names. And first, I'll just talk really quickly about gold, and my thoughts there. Don't be surprised if you see me add some more inexpensive puts, GLD, possibly GLL calls, or JDust or dust calls as well. I think at some point gold comes down to $2,300. When it does, those positions will pay off pretty nicely. Take a look at Nugget was down 5% yesterday under its 50-day moving average. I think it heads 36 and below in the coming days. Again, don't be surprised if I add more positions on that because I think it offers a great, and I keep saying this, a great hedge for the markets, right? So if the markets do sell off, Nugget's going to sell off, the miner's going to sell off, and not only that, if gold sells off, it's I say the double whammy, right? It's going to move twice as quickly to the downside. So continue to look for that. I did add some iRobot calls yesterday, or well, more of them, right? So they reported earnings after the close on Wednesday. Uh, it kind of alleviated some of the concerns around, the big bear case on iRobot is that it's going to go bankrupt. It's going to go belly up. Carlyle has this huge this loan that they gave out to iRobot based on the premise that Amazon was going to acquire them. That got nixed. Now iRobot has unfavorable terms for the loan, right? They have to hold 40 or $50 million in cash back for the loan. They have to hold certain inventory levels and capital levels uh, in order to even just to buy more product and do other things. So it kind of puts them in a precarious position. But I think their earnings kind of show that they're going to be able to walk through this and move forward. Their inventory levels dropped. I think it was down 40%. The issue with that is their margins dropped as well, but I think a lot of it has to do with the Amazon Prime Day, which Amazon, I think it was like the 10th year in a row that iRobot was one of the featured items on Amazon Prime Day. But I like it for a move back to at least 1450 or so. Once that breaks, I think it heads much higher. So that's the thought process there. A clear secure ticker U ran all the way up to 20, almost $26 yesterday, right after the open, and then just melted for the rest of the day. Closing still in the green. Still like this one. I think it heads over $30. I did my rant yesterday around the business, how it's a cash cow, that its growth, its compounded annual growth rate is off the charts and continues to grow. They've already have the TSA plus pre-check with the government, so that's just another tailwind for them. I think it continues to go nuts, or at least to the upside, up near 30. Earnings after the close. So Unity, which I still have some strikes, but going to need a huge move there. They report, and also Gilead. So still have some. I was able to trade some August strikes for nice gains. Gilead went and got the September strikes. I think it trades over $80. Uh, they'll report after the close today, and just take a look at the last three sessions. It was at 78 or so heading into this week, and then just took it on the chin. But I think it bounces back, especially if it has a nice solid day today, and then earnings. I think that bodes well. And then last but not least, and ENVX, I try not to talk about it too much. The stock closed up about 2% yesterday. They had their factory grand opening overnight, I guess it is. I don't know what Malaysia time would be. Uh, Gosh, I can only fathom what it costs for, like, why would they pay that expense to do some kind of fancy grand opening? But I think I put on the watch list. I think a lot of folks, if you read FinTwit, are looking. They want to see companies at the event. They want to see the Samsungs or these other phone manufacturers at the event, right? Just kind of it just kind of goes to show you that people they're grasping at these speculative straws because the company does not give them specifics, right? And it's almost like it plays right into the company's hands, because if you want to have your stock price high and you want to do it within the rules and regulations of the SEC, you 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 do things that creates the ability for folks to speculate, right? Oh my gosh, they're gonna do a headphone, or not a headphone. They're going to do a deal with Meta for your Oculus, or they're going to do a deal with Apple for their Vision Pro. So it just leaves it open for that conversation. Oh my gosh, their Fremont plant is across the street from Tesla. Tesla's going to use their batteries, right? It's just that done. You do this long enough, and it just reeks of what typically happens with penny stocks, right? There's not enough clarity and detail, and it allows the ability for folks to create narratives and serious speculation that shouldn't be out there, right? Well, it was a $3 billion company. There should be more specifics, and I get it. And I always say, especially with some of the names that I trade, I hope ENVX does well. If they have the best battery that's going to improve battery life for everybody on the planet, that's good, right? Less resources used. Um, just it's good. It's a good thing, right? You always want to see technology evolve and be better for the future, for the planet, whatever. So I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see what happens. But needless to say, I put it on the watch list this morning. If it breaks under the 200-day, which is at 1087, it closed right at it yesterday. I may look for some October strikes or even some September 8 puts, because I think uh, that the big catalyst, just like for the market, there's not much in a way to catalyst this week. For ENVX, there's not much in a way to catalyst going forward outside of this factory grand opening event, which was today, and then their earnings, which they just had and were disappointing. And then thrown in there was the fact that the CEO was on a 10b5-1 plan to sell 25% of his holdings. So I think you put that all together, and I think it heads lower. But that's about it. I was trying to get on audio yesterday. It wasn't much to talk about, so I'll definitely be on audio sometime before the close today. Let's have a great day. Rock and roll.